And the shake of the hands there between two men who'll be very happy indeed. Felipe Massa, who out-qualifies his teammate, and Sebastian Vettel, who is back at the front. Michael Schumacher having a look at what's going on there. He starts 9th, and Jenson Button should also be pleased. He starts 3rd on the grid for this race. Nico Rosberg clearly enjoys being warm, keeping on his balaclava. Eddie, another great qualifying session.
Well, we called it, didn't we, in many respects. Any one of 5 could have taken a pole position. We didn't know. I don't think they knew till even after the end of the qualifying, because they were still on that lap. And for that reason, we were served up yet another titanic battle for the pole position. I love qualifying the way it's working at the moment.
And a week ago, you questioned McLaren's ability to go racing. They won the race. You've now questioned Sebastian Vettel's abilities in some ways, and he's on pole position. You have got a magic touch, but...
Well, I'm not sure what we're doing, but maybe they're so upset with us that perhaps they're finding something little extra.
Well, whatever the reason, an amazing lap by Sebastian, and the perfect time to do it.
Well, it was, because, you know, he had a tardy, by his own standards, he had a tardy race last race in his home Grand Prix. Maybe that was the pressure, maybe it was different reasons. But he has certainly answered all the critics, and he has answered our questions. He can get it done. He clearly has unbelievable one-lap race speed. OK, well, while his teammate is flying, the sky is falling in for somebody else. Mark Webber, what is going on at the moment? Pole position, couldn't get the win a week ago. Today, 6th on the grid is the best that he can achieve. Not good. He's with Lee.
Well, Mark, a 6th place start for you tomorrow. It's not what we've been used to. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, bizarre, really. I couldn't, no way I could do that lap time. Absolutely no way. I think did my best. We had a few KERS issues in the middle of the session, but we had it back for the last run. But in the end, 19 is a different zone to me. So yeah, strange. Obviously, Fernando didn't have the best day either. So sensitive. We see how sensitive the tyres are, and today didn't extract enough out of them to be further up the grid.
Do you think that's what it comes down to? Because you and Sebastian were pretty evenly matched yesterday. I mean, you were looking fast out there, and they worked on both cars quite a long time last night.
Yeah. Yesterday was pretty nip and tuck, obviously. I think today, yeah, there's a gap. So need to look at it and do my best tomorrow.
Did your car feel that it was lacking anywhere? Did it feel different to yesterday?
No, it felt okay in terms of balance, and just obviously, you know, if you have a gap of 0.6, obviously it's just overall grip. I mean, I need to look through it, obviously, but it's a big step compared to the last few races, so I need to analyse it.
Well, regularly the most honest and candid of the Formula One drivers, and Mark Webber there, Eddie, being totally clear. He could not have done the lap time that his teammate managed.
How often do you hear that kind of honesty coming from any sportsman? But this guy is a step apart in some respects. He is very honest, very clear. Look, he cannot see how his car, how his setup could get into the 19s. And you have to applaud him for that, because this honesty, in many respects, is very seldom seen.
And he was clear that it was the car, of course. A week ago, we saw him on pole position, so it's not the driver. He said overall grip was the issue. What about Fernando Alonso? What's the reason for him starting behind his teammate Felipe Massa for the first time this season?
Fernando, again, it was a close qualifying. You just got pipped by your teammate at the end. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's okay. Obviously, fair after the first tyre was a better result, because you start on the clean side and fair. But now we lost one row, so starting 5th. To be honest, maybe 5th is better than 4th in a way, because here is quite a big difference. But obviously, we lost a little bit of ground, especially for the first corner. If we want to put Vettel in some trouble, starting 5th is a little bit more difficult, but let's hope that the McLaren can do in the first corner.
There you go, talking about your McLarens again. Just tell us how you think tomorrow is going to play out. What's the key to doing well on a circuit like this?
Well, consistency. I think with the tyre degradation we saw this weekend, we spent a lot of pit stops, a lot of tyre problems. So we need to take care about this, and we need to have a consistent pace all through the race, all 70 laps. So it's still very, very open, but for sure we need to do a good start and a good first couple of laps.
You're going to have a team talk with Lewis and Jenson now?
No, I think they know what to do.
Indeed they do. Well, drivers are always going to look on the positive side, Eddie. Fernando says he starts on the right side of the grid, but you disagree with that.
I think there's a balancing out here. Yes, of course, the clean part of the track, which is on the left side, remember the first corner is a right-hander. And as a result, the cars on the inside would have that little slight advantage. I'm not saying that they're exactly equaled out, but it's not as big a difference as some of these drivers are saying so.
OK, and while we're wondering what happened to Fernando Alonso, we should say congratulations to Felipe Massa. He will be delighted starting 4th. Now, 7 days ago, Martin Whitmarsh would have been sitting on the pit wall wondering whether Lewis Hamilton could snatch pole position. He was close, and he was close once again. He had provisional pole. It was stolen away by Sebastian Vettel. Let's hear from the team principal, Martin Whitmarsh.
Well, Martin, it was looking so promising. What happened in that last run for Lewis?
Well, it was tight, wasn't it? So obviously a bit disappointing, but in fact, you know, we've got both cars on the front 2 rows. Going to be an exciting race, I think. It was close, but not quite the result we wanted, but not too bad.
Did he make a little mistake in the middle sector?
I think he ran wide a little bit on the last corner of the last one, but it was no. I think, you know, it's. Yeah, but neither were bad laps. It's just been nice to have just to have pipped for pole, but. I think, you know, tomorrow we've proven that we've got some good starts, and both guys had good long runs yesterday, so I think we'll be quite competitive in the race.
Because that move in Q2, when you showed confidence by running the slower tyre, really meant that, you know, you could have been on pole.
We could have been on pole, but unfortunately we're not. So, but we'll, you know, I think we're not in a bad place for the race tomorrow, and let's see if we can make it an exciting one.
Thanks, Martin.
Well, it was certainly an exciting qualifying session. Kinky Kylie just 1/10 ahead of Lewis Hamilton's McLaren, meaning Kinky Kylie's on pole. I imagine when Sebastian looks at that car later tonight, she will look even more beautiful than ever. As for the fans, well, they certainly would have enjoyed watching Sebastian Vettel. Plenty of German support here, plenty of Vettel fans. They were delighted with his pole position, and I'm sure he is too. Let's hear from him.
Sebastian, well, you picked the right moment, didn't you, to set your fastest lap of any of the qualifying sessions right on your final flying lap?
Yeah, I think it was a very good session for us, and generally after yesterday, where I think these boys were a little bit quicker than us, seems that we have done the right thing, and I felt much more comfortable this morning. Q1 and Q2 was just about to, you know, get through to the last section of qualifying, and yeah, I'm very, very pleased with the result. Obviously, we changed a lot on the car overnight, and the boys were working pretty hard, and they didn't get much sleep. But I think, you know, if we have a result like this today, I think it's the best way to say thanks. So I'm very happy, and as I said, I've got the confidence back. Today I felt much more comfortable in the car, and yeah, now I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Lewis, we saw your delight with a front row start at the Nürburgring, your second successive front row start, but is there as much delight because you had provisional pole at one stage?
Yeah, still, I think it's a great achievement for us. I think we knew obviously from the previous race that we had good pace, and yesterday was a good day. Today, they seemed to pick up a little bit of pace, and to still be in the front row, I think for both me and Jensen, I think it was a good job by us. So I'm quite happy. I think we can collect some really good points from here.
Jensen, turning to you, at one stage it looked like Fernando Alonso was going to make it a three-way fight, and now here you are, third on the grid. A satisfactory qualifying session for yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. You know, you always, after a lap, think that there was a little bit here, a little bit there, but to be fair, it was a pretty good lap, so I'm happy to be up in third. That's been my issue of late, and it makes it very difficult in the race to make up the time, so it's nice to be positioned well, and hopefully tomorrow we can have a good fight.
And Jensen Button, I think, will be particularly happy. It may well be Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton sharing the front of the grid. But so far this season, Jensen Button, who starts third tomorrow, has struggled on Saturdays, but not today. Felipe Massa starting fourth, and he'll be smiling that he's just in front of his teammates, Fernando Alonso, with Mark Webber starting sixth. On the row behind them, Nico Rosberg and Adrian Sutil, two German drivers starting seventh and eighth. Once again, Michael Schumacher being out-qualified by his teammate, Sergio Perez, rounds off the top 10. And after that, we've got Paul Di Resta, who missed out on the top 10 by just a tenth of a second alongside Vitaly Petrov. Kamui Kobayashi, who we heard from before the show, another disappointing qualifying performance by Nick Heidfeld. He would have wanted more from that. Rubens Barrichello out qualifying his teammate. That's been rare from him this season. And Jaime Alguersuari making it through to Q2, also rare for him. So Pastor Maldonado 17th Sebastian Buemi is 18th, but actually he takes a 5-place penalty because of his accident in the last race. Heikki Kovalainen and Jarno Trulli for Team Lotus are alongside each other. Timo Glock and Vitantonio Liuzzi 21st and 22nd, and rounding off the back of the grid, Daniel Ricciardo and Jerome D'Ambrosio. Well, David Coulthard's hot-footed it down from the commentary box, and this time last week we saw all the cars going out onto the track with just a few minutes to go, and it was an exciting finish to qualifying. Deja vu a week later, that was great.
It was a great qualifying session, you know, trying to follow the laps, see them on play, the sectors unfold actually, and in the end Sebastian of course was able to deliver the lap. But I thought Lewis's first lap in that last part of qualifying was very impressive. First time running on the super soft tyres at this point in the day. Interestingly, Martin Whitmarsh just passed by there and said it was the first time he was running on full engine mode. I'm not quite sure whether that's entirely accurate or not.
I think he was telling you that, so you tell everybody else that and they believe it.
Oh, absolutely, but that would be pretty impressive as well if that was the case.
OK, well, let's have a look at Sebastian Vettel's pole up, and perhaps you can talk us through this, David.
Well, as the lap was unfolding and I was watching the sectors of the other drivers, it didn't look as if he was entirely satisfied with the car. Let's just see him once he's in the turn. You see him really working the wheel a lot as he gets in through turn 2, early on the power out of this corner, pull the car over to the left, flat out through turn 3, using all the road there, with deploying DRS as he comes up to the blind turn 4, 150 miles an hour apex, and then this relentless right-hander, short shifting, and then difficult braking here into the chicane and qualifying, wind right behind the car, manages to hit his apex nice and clean. But it's at this stage of the lap, the middle sector, where Red Bull have been oh so strong in the past, where look at him, he's sawing at the wheel, and I thought, well, is he in trouble? You know, is that hesitation in his commitment to the corner? Look again there, it's like there's so much kickback through the front axle. And in the end, as we get towards the end of the lap here, this is more the sort of hunting ground of Mark Webber through the practice sessions and what we saw in free practice in last year. But when it came to it, Sebastian was able to ace it. He does a little stab at the power there, finds the point at which is, right, I'm now going to nail the throttle, and then drives for the line. And then today, 1/10 quicker than Lewis Hamilton and enough for pole position.
Quality, a great lap, and there's plenty more sport coming your way from the BBC this afternoon as well. It didn't rain here in the end, did it? But it's going to be rather wet if you stick with us here on BBC One, because we're going to the World Swimming Championships, highlights from Shanghai, both on BBC One and also on the red button. It's also the Women's British Open from Carnoustie, 3:20 today on BBC One, so you've got a whole afternoon of sport on this channel, and also over on BBC Two tonight from 6 o'clock. The World Trials and also the UK Championships from Birmingham. And of course, we are back. Formula One on the BBC and on the BBC One HD channel. 12:05 tomorrow. We'll be making sure that the wheels don't come off for McLaren.
Lewis, do the gun. I'm ready to do the gun. Save it for Sunday, boys.
Jenson and Lewis will run into each other at some point.
That's a fact.
I'm a bit worried that Jenson might not actually know which pit box he's meant to be in and working the wheel.
Is that pink or is that green?
It's peach.
Oh, yeah.
Peach.
I like peach.
I'm going to turn my nose off. Goggles aren't going to make any difference. One of the least safe things I've ever done. I can't tell you who won that challenge, but all I can tell you is racing drivers are incredibly competitive. A great qualifying session set up beautifully for tomorrow, Eddie.
I think we were just dished up an absolutely sparkling qualifying. Brilliant.
Okay. It was good fun. Well, you never quite know with this sport, do you? Felipe Massa, he absolutely flew out, qualified his teammate. Lewis Hamilton had provisional pole, Jenson Button right behind him, and Sebastian Vettel back at the front after struggling for the past couple of races. It's a funny old thing with Formula One. Just as you think you're getting one thing, you end up with something completely different. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon on the BBC.